Hello and welcome to Pipecleaner Party. Today is our first official test video where we'll be making Sitama from the famous anime, or rather currently popular anime, One Punch Man. First up, I'll be using these pipe cleaners to form the body. I find using these to be the easiest since they help give you decent proportions. These are the pipe cleaners used to make up the rest of the form. It usually takes about like 15 to 16 pipe cleaners to make just one simple person, but it can take as many as you need to. Like for example, I set one aside for the legs, one aside for the arms, one for the hands, anything stuff like that. Anyway, now onto the creation things. First up, I make the body. I make the skeletal frame by taking the two pipe cleaners and even them together. Place them on my thumb to make it easier so that they all align perfectly, and then from the base here, I start to twist. I twist all the way up to the thick, up the thick part until the thin part. And now we already have the body. Now for the head part, we first take this pipe cleaner, bend it downward across the body, and then wrap this around, and then you have one side of the arm. This little sticky thing out is going to eventually form the head, but that's going to be farther along. We do the same thing we did with the first side, and do with the second side. And the second side. So I measure again just to make sure it's length, but if we don't need to worry about that yet. Now on to the forming of the body. Or rather the skin / clothing layer. First we take one pipe cleaner, fold it in half, and then slide it up together to make a nice crease at the edge. Pinching helps make it form better. Next, we take this pipe cleaner and wrap it around the waist. We wrap it around the waist, like so. So, make a nice knot. And now we just wrap it around the leg with a nice tight coil. A nice trick is to have your thumb and forefinger constantly hold it in place. And here's a basic trick that I use for all my things. Even though this is wire, treat it like string. Make it bend to your literal command. If not, then it will go all willy-nilly on you. Okay, continue wrapping around. And that's one leg. And you do the same with the other leg. Though I'm going to wrap it around once because I kind of had a little bit of a spot there. There we up. And we have the legs. Now for the arms. We take another pipe cleaner. Do the same thing essentially, only this time you put it around the neck or underneath the armpits armpits. You then tie it up. You can do a little cross hatching here if you want. That's optional, just depends how you do it. And then buy up. Okay, and once it gets like here for the, actually gotta get a little undo bit, just to give it a bit more slack. But when you get each here, you can actually make the hands by bending this in half or like 1/3, and then pulling this up and make a little thumb. Basically, we're going to make like what is essentially an oven mitt sort of hand, or a mitten, rather. Yep. Up. If you want to make sure both hands are like the exact length, then you can just like put the hands out forward to make sure they're measured equally. And then bend it like you did with the first one, but in alignment with the hand on the other one so that it look even. See? That looks much more nice. Okay, now for the body. You just take one pipe cleaner, make a nice little hook with the hook by bending it over the thumb, wrap it around the pelvis, close the hook up to make it nice tight, and then just wrap it around the waist. Doing it this way helps you form the bulk of the body. Like, for example, if you have extra, you can just wrap it around the chest. That's to give it a bigger chest, or just go it straight down. Continue wrapping it straight downward again after you go back up. And got to give it a bit more of a defined body. Now, when you get that to here point, we don't want this sticking out, so we take our pliers and we, hold on. And our pliers, grab the little tip right here and then just bend it and feed it inside, and work to feed it inside the thing. Using both first your thumb to get a line, then your pliers to like force it in. So it did. Okay, now on to the feet. The feet is simple. When it is here, or you can either do it at like the part where you stop wrapping it around, or a bit desired length, and just like whoop, like that. Doing it this way also helps keep both legs stable. Like as you can see, the eggs are stable like this. You can also even bend the tips with the pliers to control the length of the toes. There. Now for the feet. The shoes. First you take one pipe cleaner, make another little hook by bending it over your thumb, wrap it around the ankle, and then just wrap it around a couple times. Then once you get to the back of the heel, you make one large loop around the foot like that. Like that. I hope you can see it clearly. And then you can do it as many times as you feel like you need. I feel as 2 is the perfect amount. And then you just wrap the excess around the foot as many times until you're done using this up. And then any part that foot is done, you just wrap back up the ankle. Repeat the same step for the other foot. Yep. I know this is a test footage, but I hope you all can hear me clearly. That is my sister. She is helping spearhead this whole operation. If you want to say something, Dory, say it now. That is her normal response. Now for the hands. It's sort of a similar setup, but slightly different. You make another hook like that, wrap it around the wrist. Then you take the one and the pipe clears, wrap just like a basic loop around the thumb, and then you take this and just like twist it to get together, surrounding the thumb. And with the hand, and you make it a sort of like a quarter, like a U around it, like so. Wrap this, and then bring this over the wrist, and then just wrap it back up, working your way up the mitten, and then once you reach the top, you wrap itself back down. Take any excess and just wrap it along the arm. Repeat for the other. Okay, now we have our hands. Though they do look a little bit fat, so yeah. Though you can leave it like that though it makes it hard to bend them, but at first take your pliers and just like compress the hands. This gives it a nice flat it makes it nice and flat and easier to remove. Makes them a bit more ambidextrous in the fingers. Okay, and now for the head part. Well, since we're making a specific character who doesn't have any hair, we don't need to go into the hair stuff. But in general, if you want to do a hair thing, just like take any pipe cleaner like so, fold it in half like that, and then feed it around the neck, and then bring it back up in between the things, and just wrap this around it like that. But since we're not doing with that, I'm not doing that. Okay, so we can just wrap the head around, and we have a head. I hope you guys can see that. Now for the pants, for the clothing layer again. Again, this part we did is just the skin layer. Now we're on the clothing layer, which is the same as the skin layer, only above. Okay, once again, we take another pipe cleaner, fold it in half, slide it down the middle, make a nice crease at the end, and then just continue to wrap. Okay, and now I'm gonna give him a little bit of a boot thing, so I just take one Pipecleaner and just wrap it around the ankle just to form the boot as needed. Mostly, you can actually use the whole Pipecleaner with this, but most of the time, if it's more than you actually need, then you can just snip it if you snip it after a part you're done with it. But I usually like to wrap it back down just to give it a bit more of a bulk or a bit more of a better form to the side. Once again, to keep this from sticking out, you take the pliers. You just turn the end towards the body, and then press it back in first with your thumb, and then then with the pliers. This helps keeps it in and any pointy part sticking out. Gonna repeat the same process with this. Yes, you could use the hook method that I showed you earlier with this legs too. I just chose to do it that way because I've already shown you a couple of times, and I have faith that you figure that out by now. Okay, and now for the sleeve. Now for the sleeves. First we do this again, but this time we're going to be doing a little different trick. We're going to be taking this hook thing, or basically any pointed device thing like this, or a simple nail, and just find the crosshair back here and then feed this through. I like using this one because the hook helps point it back up. Like that, and then you just continue to feed it through. it through back here, and if you do this right, you should be able to see a nice little hole right here. That you can easily thread this Pipecleaner through. Threading is sort of an advanced tactic, but I use it frequently, and this seems to be the basic introductory. No, basically you do the same thing you did with the arm length again. Now these corner parts are going to be wrapped underneath the gloves by this one, but I just feed it back into the device just as normal. And while I'm doing this, I just realized there's one minor part I forgot, but we'll bring it up after this. Okay, it's there now to add this. Since doing it for the hands, and the hands are generally shorter than the legs, I'm going to fold this in half like I did with the others. But then take these scissors and cut it. It gives you a nice helpful hook at the beginning. And you need to help at it, but then you wrap it around the wrist and coil it around, making sure to wrap the Pipecleaner around the hook around the part of the wire you just cut off, so that feeds back into it naturally. Okay, just gonna give him a little fist. Wrap this part around here too. Okay, we have our Sitama almost ready. We just need to give him a little belt, which I have using this little Pipecleaner here. This is part of some of the scraps I've had in the past. You can keep some of those scraps if you want to use little design details like his belt, but if you don't need it, you're free to throw it away. You just wrap it around the belt, and I know one bigger thing about this little guy is his cape, but that's kind of slightly complicated and will be done at a later date. Okay, and then you just use the pliers or even a hammer to buff out any little nicks. And we have our Sitama. Though the body is head can be a little bit more desired.
His head is so small.
That was my sister again helping with this test footage, and this leads us to the done. I hope you enjoy enjoy this, and hope you have fun. Yeah, have fun on making your horrors. And if you have a little trouble, don't worry. You can just rewind the video just to figure out what to do next. Or if you can't mix it, then just make the mistake work in your favor.